Well, hello again. I kind of got carried away chasing rust. So I took this apart. As you can see, this is that bracket that I was screwing with. I put it in a acid bath, actually apple cider vinegar. It's got acid in it. Left it in there for a couple days to get some of this rust petrified crap off. And I took all that off really well, but I was noticing it was bleeding through where these little brackets go. So I tore it apart. Drilled the spot welds out. Now I'm going to sandblast it, and then we'll put it back together. Welcome to the obstacle course. I really need to clean this out so I can get around here. And here's my sandblast cabinet. So let's put some stuff in there and blast it for a minute. Just sitting here trying to get these little brackets back in. Need to get a bolt to go through there to hold it in place. Oops. Anyway, those little brackets I sandblasted, they sit inside of there. I've got the other one in there with the nut in the right position. I already did this once and I had the nut in the wrong position. I had it flipped around. So part of the reason I pulled this apart is I couldn't get, there was a bolt stuck in there. And all this really is an exhaust hanger. But yeah, I had to weld that on top of there and did it about 4 times and it finally came out. All right, so I'm gonna get this all set up to weld back together and we'll do that next. So I'm going to give this about 20 minutes or so to dry, and then we'll stick it back in. Looks all right. No rust. That's the main deal. All right, now that that bracket is all painted and such, I did test fit it and scratch it a little bit right there, but this is more than Ford Motor ever did as far as painting it and whatnot. So feeling all right about it. Next thing I'm going to do, I have taken and ground all the rust out of there. What you see in there, the dark, is just dead stuff. I've treated it. I am going to go get some acetone. One of the best things for painting, my opinion, is fingernail polish remover. Not the new fancy whatever stuff, the old stuff that's got acetone in it. So I'm going to douse it with that, get this all prepped up, put some weld-through primer in there, and we'll put this thing back together. I know I said all the rust was out of it, but I figured I'd take one more run at it. And I put some acid in there. Just wanted to kill everything out. I used phosphoric acid, and yeah, looks much better. So not much more I can do that way. I've done more than probably most people do. Most people aren't going to take this bracket out and do all this crap, right? So anyway, I'm going to put some weld-through primer over top of that, which also has acetone and such in it. That should help it. Then we'll see if we can stick this bracket back in and move on with other things. All right, it's painted up. We're gonna let that dry for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and put that bracket in. All right, here's our bracket. I'm just gonna drop it in there, like so. So it's in. I'm gonna have to clamp it because I got a pretty big gap right there, and we gotta line it up here too. I was looking at the other one, and the way they had it, this thing, yeah, it's not totally dry, oh well. That was centered, which that is there, and then the rest of them just sit like so. So that's how it's gonna go. And then this big hole here, we'll patch it up with that little piece that I made a few weeks ago. So I'm gonna get set up and weld that in. Okay, so we've got that pretty well welded in. I forgot to hit the on button when I did some of this. So that's all done there. We just need to put this patch in. And there's one spot underneath here. You can kind of see it next to my finger right here. I do need to do that also. I think I'm gonna take and peen the top of it and make it kind of come down to meet up with that. But the rest of it looks great. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here for a sec, fit this up, and then I'll come back in. Okay, there's my little patch. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just weld it in. Fell right into place. I must have done a good job at something for a change. Excuse the jet. It's just part of the package where I live. Okay, well, we got that pretty well blended in. So, I think that's all for today. Let's clean up my mess and do it again next time.